if I step back, we started the year with a lot of uncertainty. As you know, March 23, 2020 was a lockdown. We were focusing on, what lies ahead. Nobody knew what's going to happen. So at that time, we pulled cash down and we prepared for 2 years of zero revenue. We had cash sitting on the balance sheet, too much uncertainty. We did not know when things will open out, and we were ready for the worst. Also, I think we stepped up the engagement with people, and we, really focused on making sure that everybody feels safe and healthy. We started the first quarter with a 30% dip in volume. And then there was a V-shaped recovery. And I think in the last quarter, the industry grew in double digits. So from a minus 30%, it went back to double-digit growth very, very quickly. And we saw a couple of things. I think one, because the lockdown was sudden, when the lockdown opened, people wanted to complete their projects very quickly. So if a road was 90% complete, people wanted to complete it very fast. If people were building a new room in their house or repairing the house or building a new floor, everybody wanted to complete it quickly. So there was a demand surge, and whoever was ready to capture this demand surge was able to open his factories quickly, was able to get the supply chain running fast. Transporters, dealer shops, CNF agents, all of them. If you could get the whole ecosystem to work, quickly, I think those people captured the benefits. In the second half, this was the first half of last year. In the second half, I think the big companies gained market share over the smaller companies. They adopted digital technologies faster. They were able to, invest in giving extra credit to their distributors. They were also, able to invest in brands and leverage their strength in the channel. So I think overall, what we've seen that whoever got off the blocks fast gained market share, and second, large companies gained market share over smaller companies. So I think overall we have benefited from good macro environment, infrastructure spend, rural spending, and I think great teamwork. We have also increased the share of our premium products, and that's led to healthier margins, and we've grown volume quite significantly. So in this quarter, 24% volume growth. We did 6.4 million tons, which are highest ever quarterly volume. And for the first time in the whole year, we've crossed 10,000 crores in revenue and 1,000 crores in PAT. So I'm very pleased with the performance, but I think this is an outcome of partly industry recovery very quickly, which is driven by rural spending and infrastructure spending and rural demand, and partly great teamwork amongst our people. So I think if you prioritize people over profits, magic happens.
Indeed. This is looking back, Puneet. As you look ahead, now, even a year into pandemic, even though we know how to cope with things, but the second wave is a little mind-boggling. I mean, the numbers are far greater than what you saw the same time last year. Help me understand what really is the situation on ground, because what we understand from our channel checks is that there are multiple constraints in terms of transportation, delayed offtake being seen. How is it that you're coping up with now this second wave and the spike that you're seeing again across the country, and mini lockdowns, curbs and curfews being put in place?
I think you're absolutely right, Aisha. The things are very different this time around. I think this strain of virus is more infectious. It spreads very quickly, and I think it's even affecting younger people. It is also leading to very sudden breakdown in health. So there is a lot of fear factor. I think first point for us is how can we focus on the physical and emotional well-being of people, not just our employees, but vendors, dealers, our customers, all of them. So I think we have taken some steps to once again really focus very, very deeply on ensuring that physically and emotionally people feel safe and healthy. We have set up a 24/7 helpline. We have a feet on street team which can help people source oxygen cylinders, oxygen concentrators are there in every plant. We have tied up with hospitals for beds to the extent it is available. We have also tied up with home care and nursing facilities as well as diagnostic on virtual diagnostic doctors. So people at least feel that there's somebody to talk to, there is somebody who they can reach out to, and they don't feel alone when they're dealing with a difficult situation. And this we have extended not just to our employees, but also to our vendors and our customers. So I think that is one. The second thing that we are seeing this time is that there is a lot of negativity around. So we are focusing on amplifying the positive. There are, of course, heart-wrenching stories which are very painful, which are very, difficult to, hear. But there are also great stories on, healthcare workers doing a great job round the clock. Our own people being able to source oxygen cylinders at 2 a.m. in the morning, get beds for people, get injections for people. So I think we are focusing on amplifying the positive. And third, we are rolling out the vaccination drive very, very quickly. So I think we are tracking this on a daily basis in every plant, in our regional offices and corporate offices. So I think we are taking all steps to roll out vaccines in our entire ecosystem. And we are tracking these numbers, and hopefully in the next 4 to 8 weeks, we should be 100% covered. So I think step up the outreach, make people feel safe and connected, and leverage our collective strength. I think that is point number one. Point number two, on the business environment, I think this time it is not a national lockdown, but we are facing mini lockdowns across the country. And I think the situation is different in every region. So if, for example, I see our footprint, we are seeing the maximum impact as of now in East India, where in Odisha, Jharkhand, Bihar, the situation is quite tough. And, sales are trending lower, even adjusted for seasonality. But if I see Northeast, the situation is much better compared to East India, and South is somewhere in the middle. So I think we have to create flexible plans. We cannot, it's a very dynamic and volatile environment. We have to be very flexible and very agile. If the demand is lower, we have to focus on, costs very quickly. And if the demand is high, we must capture market share very quickly. So I think one, our planning has to be very flexible. And second, the approach to market and approach to management has to be very localized, as the situation is different from state to state. So it's not a one-size-fits-all strategy, it's localized strategy and a very flexible and adaptive strategy. And I think I'm very hopeful that this too shall pass and things should start looking up. But we are prepared for any eventuality.
Okay. How does that translate then, Puneet, into business? Because you had guided for a capacity expansion of about 55 to 60 MTPA for the next 3 years. Are you on target with that plan? Are you in wait and watch mode to see what happens with the second wave and whether this worsens or not, and then perhaps take a call on whether to not revise your guidance?
No, absolutely. Look, first of all, we feel very confident and hopeful. In the last year, we delivered our best profits and best growth ever. So I think we feel very confident about the future. But we are cautious and optimistic given this wave. So what we are doing is we ended the year with around 31 million tons of capacity. Our plans to invest in Murli, invest in our Odisha grinding unit are on track. And I think this should take the capacity to 37, 38 million tons. So at least there is another 20% growth, which is, under construction, should get up and running in the next six months. Having said that, I think we are watching what is going to happen in the second wave. And, depending upon how the situation stabilizes and depending on how the situation evolves, we will pace our growth accordingly. So I want to just, again, as I said, we have to be flexible and adaptive to the macro environment. We continue to invest in the projects which are already on stream, and we will take a call on the rest of our expansion plan and how to pace it depending upon how the situation evolves.
Yeah, everything's pretty fluid right now, isn't it? Can you give me a more detailed outline of what is it that you're planning in terms of upcoming capacities at the Bengal grinding unit, Cuttack, Bihar unit? When will the commercial production start at Murli Industries and the limestone availability as well? And how much would be the additional capex on Murli?
So I think, from an overall perspective, our Bengal unit has already started production. Commercial production started in end of this quarter. So that's up and running. Our Odisha grinding unit, we were planning to start this quarter. But given the labor availability and given the COVID issues, it is delayed by 1 month. So I think we should definitely be able to start it, next quarter at best. In Murli Industries, we are continuing to invest, and we think we should be able to start commercial production by June of this year. Again, given the COVID situation and Maharashtra situation, maybe there is a lag of a couple of months here there, but not much. So I think overall all plans are on track, barring a couple of months delay. Having said that, I think we have enough capacity in our existing plants to be able to capture the market demand, if it comes. On Murli, the balance capex number which is to be spent is about 500 to 700 crores, and the capacity which we will get with this whole investment is around 3 million tons. But we are also looking at limestone availability, and we are quite confident that we should be able to get at least 15 to 20 years of limestone with very high level of certainty. And if that happens, then we are going to further invest in expanding Murli as well. So 3 million tons is a confirmed number, but depending upon limestone, which we are highly confident about, we should be able to further look at expanding Murli as well in the near future.